One Texas Democrat now says if this explosive new report is true, President Trump must either resign or be impeached. That gives you a sense of how some see this as a possible political game changer, with BuzzFeed saying the special counsel's office has evidence, documents, emails, text messages to back up this claim. Another night, another bombshell. A potentially damaging new report from BuzzFeed says President Trump directed his longtime attorney, Michael Cohen, to lie to Congress about negotiations to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. NBC News has not independently confirmed the report, which cites two federal law enforcement officials involved in an investigation of the matter. At the same time, Donald Trump was denying business dealings with Russia during the campaign.
I know nothing about the inner workings of Russia. I don't deal there. I have no businesses there. I have no loans from Russia.
BuzzFeed says the candidate and his children, Ivanka and Don Jr., received regular, detailed updates about the Russian real estate development from Cohen, a deal Donald Trump hoped could bring him $300 million in profits. Cohen reportedly telling special counsel Robert Mueller the president personally instructed him to lie to Congress, saying the negotiations ended months earlier than they did to hide President Trump's involvement. Overnight, Cohen's lawyer, Lanny Davis, saying in a statement, out of respect for Mr. Mueller's and the Office of Special Counsel's investigation, Mr. Cohen declined to respond to the questions asked by the reporters, and so do I. The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, firing back, telling the Washington Post, if you believe Cohen, I can get you a great deal on the Brooklyn Bridge. And this morning, renewed attention on this exchange with Attorney General nominee Bill Barr this week.
You wrote on page 1 that a president persuading a person to commit perjury would be obstruction. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or any person who persuades another to, yeah.
Okay. You also said that a president or any person convincing a witness to change testimony would be obstruction. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And on page 2, you said that a president deliberately impairing the integrity or availability of evidence would be an obstruction. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Overnight, Democrats demanding answers. Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, calling it among the most serious allegations against President Trump to date, tweeting in part, "We will do what's necessary to find out if it's true." This now intensifies the focus on what Michael Cohen will say when he appears before Congress in less than 3 weeks. One top Democrat, Elijah Cumming, tells NBC News he spoke with Cohen yesterday and that Cohen is more determined than ever to share his story.